Hi guys, Oily Prepper here. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about a health update. For those that have watched my channel, you know a little bit. I have a diagnosis of what is called occipital neuralgia. And basically, they think that I damaged a nerve in the back of my head one time when I was a teenager, and it's called the occipital nerve, and it branches up over to the shoulders and up through the head, and so it can cause a lot of pain. Literally every second of my life for the last 24 years I've had a headache. Over the years it's gradually increased, and it increased to the point to where I can no longer work. Imagine having almost a migraine level headache every second of your life and trying to work. So I had to quit working about 6.5 years ago, and it was hard, you know, because it put a financial strain on us. My husband works out in the barn and does extra jobs working on things for people on top of his full-time job. So you know, I've been desperate to try to find something that would help. Well, I've had breast reduction surgery because they thought the weight was causing pressure, causing my muscles to spasm, pushing on the nerve. I've done acupuncture, multiple chiropractors, natural herbs, pain medicines. Nothing would touch it. And it was just so frustrating because I'd get my hopes up and then nothing would help. So my sister tells me about essential oils, and I'm thinking, okay, just essential oils are just something that smells good, or some kind of odd people, you know, believe. Not really knowing about it and just going off of this preconceived notion, and shame on me for doing that. Anyways, my sister got my mom this starter kit. I go over to my mom's house, and it's migraine level, my headache is. And I mean, it wasn't when I was heading over there, but by the time I got there, it was just awful and nauseous and just terrible, terrible. And my mom says, well, let's try this. And she pulls out this oil called Panaway, and she slathers that on my neck and over on my shoulders, because that pain goes over to my shoulders, and it's just awful. And then I took a little bit and put it on the sides of my head, just, you know, I was like, I'll try it, I guess, you know. Within 15-20 minutes, my headache was knocked down significantly. Within another 10 minutes, it was even more so. I mean, I was just floored, and that's how I ended up getting into essential oils. And since then, I've seen them do incredible things. I have a friend that suffers from seizures, and she's able to get them under control now using essential oils. I've seen stories about people with cancer that have gotten help, and I'm not here to tell you that I'm a doctor or a nurse or any kind of medical professional. I'm not here to tell you to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure any disease. I'm just telling you the things that I see for myself and have seen. It's helped my family with everything from snoring to allergies to pain, lots of pain. My husband has bursitis and spondylosis in his neck, and it's just horrendous pain sometimes. And I can rub an oil called Valor on the back of his neck, and within 15 minutes it's knocked down to where he can function again. So I'm just so grateful for the oils. But I still haven't found anything. I mean, I've even had shots in my head and neck and back and shoulders, and I have not found anything that's just completely gotten rid of this headache. I had almost 100% relief, probably about 98% relief one time with a shot in my head, but it was only for about 2 hours, and it cost about $800 after insurance was covered. It's like a $10,000 shot, which is ridiculous. And it only gave me about 2 hours worth of relief. And so I can't afford to do that. I can't afford to go to the ER every single day to get something for pain. Doctors treat you like you're a drug seeker. So the essential oils help and help with most of our pain. Most anything I have going on, sciatic pain, whatever, they help me. I mean, they're miracle workers. I just can't believe it. But I'm still not getting enough relief to have a really great quality of life. I mean, it's better than it was. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've given me my life back. But like the last couple of weeks when the weather's fluctuated, I'm still in just so much pain, and that's probably why a lot of you know, I don't stay in the chats very long. And I'm also a Christian, so if things start getting kind of raunchy or whatever, I leave. And that's not a judgment on you guys. I don't expect you to change for me. I just want you to know that, and there's no judgment on anybody. It's just for my spiritual needs, I try to be careful. I don't want to hear that and get myself to cussing and things like that. I want to keep my heart pure. And so, no judgment on anybody. I love all of y'all. I just want you to know that. Excuse me. There's some really great people out there, and I would never want to make you feel like I'm judging you or anything, because I'm not. But I'm just trying to do, what I feel like spiritually right for me. But for the most part, when I leave the chats, it's mainly because I just don't feel good, and I'm not getting real good rest because I'm in so much pain right now. So about a month ago, I went to the eye doctor, probably about a month and a half now. And the eye doctor noticed when he took a picture of my optic nerves, he noticed that I had some pretty significant swelling. Normally, like when you look at the optic nerve, there's circles, and the edge of that circle should be very crisp and defined, and about 3/4 on each side is not for mine, which means there's some kind of swelling or pressure going on there. And so I'm scheduled to go have an MRI done. The reason why the pressure in the eye is significant is because it actually could be excessive spinal fluid. And that pressure can be making my head hurt, since occipital neuralgia is just basically a diagnosis of ruling out other things like cancer and things like that. It really isn't a definitive diagnosis. It's just a basis of elimination. So it may not be occipital neuralgia at all. The symptoms are dead on with occipital neuralgia, but hopefully maybe this relieving the spinal fluid, even if I do have occipital neuralgia, maybe the spinal fluid reduction, if I've got too much pressure going on, they can do a spinal tap and relieve that pressure, and hopefully knock my pain down all the way, if not completely. So I'm just asking, for those of you that pray, I'm just asking you to please pray for me. I really have a hard time getting my hopes up with anything, because I've done that over and over again. Excuse me. And so I'm just trying to keep a level head about it, and just praying about it and asking, the Lord, if that's what's going on, to reveal that. But I go to get an MRI because they have to do that, an MRI on my brain. And then after that, they'll go in and do a spinal puncture if everything on the MRI shows up okay. They'll do a spinal puncture, test the pressure in the fluid in my spine, and if it's too high, they'll relieve some of that pressure. So anyway, that's kind of a health update for me, and I just kind of wanted to let you know why maybe I haven't been as visible as I normally would have been. I try to drop in on chats and watch everybody's videos, but I have to kind of be careful about how much I stare at this computer screen and things up close. So that's where we're at, and I'm just asking for some prayers, and for those that pray, I'm asking for prayers. For those that don't, just some positive thoughts my way, if you would. Anyway, this is Oily Prepper signing off, and remember, a drop or two will do.